Let's swipe now to TikTok. Is that a mixed metaphor? Do you swipe on TikTok? Anyway, I have no idea. An FCC commissioner telling Axios it is time the U.S. government banned the Chinese-owned social video app. The news propelling shares of Meta and Snap higher today. Both have products to rival TikTok, of course. Julia Borson's got the details on this one. Julia.
That's right, Melissa. Shares of Meta ended the day up more than 2%. Snap up about 3.5% after a report in Axios that FCC's Commissioner Brandon Carr says CFIUS should move to ban TikTok. He's referring to revelations about TikTok and parent ByteDance's management of user data. And Carr said, quote, "I don't believe there is a path forward for anything other than a ban." He's, of course, one of 5 FCC commissioners, and the FCC itself does not actually have any authority over TikTok. CFIUS does, and CFIUS is currently in talks with TikTok to determine if it can or should be divested to a U.S.-based company. TikTok got back to us with a statement saying, quote, "Commissioner Carr has no role in the confidential discussions with the U.S. government." Going on to say, "We are confident that we are on a path to reaching an agreement with the U.S. government that will satisfy all reasonable national security concerns." A Treasury spokesperson telling CNBC that its CFIUS division is, quote, "committed to taking all necessary actions within its authority to safeguard U.S. national security." Now, Melissa, they also note that CFIUS doesn't comment on transactions that it may or may not be reviewing. But I also want to point out that shares of Oracle were down today, down about 1.2%. TikTok, of course, routes its U.S. traffic to Oracle's cloud infrastructure. Back over to you.
Julia, do the midterms play into any of this in terms of, if Republicans gain the House and or the Senate, if Republicans could be tougher on China and so therefore a ban might be more likely?
I mean, look, this has been a conversation that has been going on for so long. There does seem to be bipartisan concern about TikTok in particular. We have to remember what TikTok went through in the Trump administration. So it's hard to say, but from what it sounds like is these talks have been going on for a while between TikTok and CFIUS. So maybe a Republican-controlled House could have an impact here, but I think ultimately this is something that CFIUS is dealing with now, and we could get some information on it fairly soon. The question is just how dramatic and draconian the CFIUS decision is.
All right, Julia, thank you. Julia Borston. Karen, we were just talking about this as one of these sort of events that could be a major catalyst for Facebook, Meta, and Meta finished higher by 2%
I
today.
know, it was up, I think 4% it went, but, it is Meta, so up 2, I guess, is great. But I think, it's interesting. This was an issue during the Trump administration, and there was that whole unusual deal with Oracle, shall we say. But it was never really resolved. Remember, though, even though there was hostilities between the Trump administration and China, they're ratcheted up a whole lot more now, right? I think we're looking at a very different, far more, confrontational,
dynamic.
Sticky, yes. And so I think that makes the chances a little higher, but it is not a reason to be in Meta on the hope that TikTok, if it happens, great. It would be great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I would actually see this a bit better beneficiary for Snap than it is for Meta. And I think when you look at your TikTok versus your Snap, they have that really young demographic. And especially when you're looking at advertisers, it's a very specific niche target audience. And so if TikTok were to go away, I think Snap would actually benefit more so. What it doesn't help is people did not like to see with Meta how much spending they're putting into this new platform of theirs, which is still questionable of how much it's going to go forward or not, right? So I would actually say it's too preemptive to see if TikTok, anything will happen with it or not. But if it does, I think Snap's your beneficiary.
I do think in a different controlled Congress, you could see this kind of a move. I mean, I do think that, and this is what Karen's alluding to, I think there's been a major change from where we started on this conversation. FCC Chair Carr, I mean, really has a bee in his bonnet on this. I mean, he's gone way out there. And I do think that data privacy legislation on a national basis, and this is what TikTok's saying, by the way, we want that, we welcome it, and it should be out there. We need something. And I think that's part of where I think they're going to get to. How aggressive, I don't know. But it's not a reason to go out and buy either of those two companies today.